friends. Welcome to Bharat Marg. Welcome, Vinaji. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Today, we are going to have an interesting topic, friends. Trump wins America and Trudeau's pant gets wet in Canada. Okay, that's a subject. Okay, let's go through in detail and let's talk with Vinaji why the Liberandus are so stressed. Okay, let's discuss about that, friends. But before going further, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can, friends, and also press the notification bell to stay connected so that whenever we go live, you get informed and you can join us and ask any question and participate. And also, friends, we are into many services here, as you can see: Sanskrit teaching, Vedic mathematics teaching, matrimonial services, and Seva in Kumbh Mela, and much more. And if you want any of these, you can contact us in the WhatsApp given below. And all our services are free, and we accept Dhan but no charge. Okay, but if you want to support us, share the video, and also donate us from bharatmarg.com, or you can donate us by sending a WhatsApp in the given WhatsApp number, and also get our one dharmic message every day. Okay, thank you again. And here is Vinaji. Vinaji, let's welcome to the show, Vinaji, again. And how do you see this, Vinaji? Trump wins in America, and Trudeau's pants are getting wet in Canada. How do you see it?
That's a good point, actually, because what's happening with the U.S. elections and the impact that it's going to have on not only Canada but the rest of the world, it's going to be a very interesting next 4 years. Okay, so let's dissect this a little further. Okay, so the reason Trudeau and many leaders across the globe didn't want Trump to come into power is because United States calls itself the kind of the global police or whatever, right? So they're a superpower, no doubt about it. But they have misused their powers in many instances and many cases. End of the day, no matter which leader comes to power, okay, whether it's Trump, whether it's Joe Biden, or even if Kamala Harris or whoever had come, the first thing that they look out for is their own country. Okay, everything else is next.
Hopefully.
All right.
Hopefully,
America is number one for them. All right.
But Biden was looking after China.
Whatever it is, but end of the day, America is number one for every American leader, no matter what. Okay, their country comes first. All right. So the biggest disaster, I should say, for people like Trudeau and many of the other leaders is that Trump's policies are totally different from their agenda. Okay, Trudeau's agenda, for example, was, he indirectly supported Kamala Harris, not openly, of course, because his agenda and Kamala Harris's agenda, which had no agenda for that matter, kind of matched. Okay, so they kind of went, it was a good, I would say, a good a coalition, I should say, nexus, I should say, between Kamala Harris's agenda and Trudeau's agenda, and Trudeau was hoping that she would come to power, but unfortunately, that did not happen. So,
Vinaji, one second, please. Just for giving you, this might be of interest to you. Top of Trudeau's agenda is gender equality. So that the women bathroom, the men can go. The same thing, the rhetoric that Kamala Harris stood for. Environment, carbon tax, and middle class and refugees, and those are all free trade in the names of whatever. These are all the agenda.
If you want to keep that slide on for 30 seconds, I'll just go through it. Gender equity is a woke business, actually, and This is Trudeau's agenda, but Mr. Trump is totally against that. Okay. And this whole woke business is not on his agenda. Number two, environment. He says that, you know what, if a nuclear bomb falls on any part of this world, it'll basically destroy the entire, that whole area. Okay. So his agenda is more to control and
Trudeau's agenda is, Vinaji, do you agree with this? Trudeau's agenda is carbon tax and carbon emission, but travel all over in the private jet.
exactly. So the thing is with Trump, he wants, his main focus is going to be to control wars, prevent wars, and also stop wars that's happening right now. Okay, while
Mhm.
Mr. Trudeau says, oh, he keeps talking about, oh, environment, global warming, blah blah blah. Yes, it is happening, but at the same time, what is priority, right? And the third thing was, he was focusing on middle class. By what? By taxing the middle class, by making their life miserable, raising inflation, raising grocery prices, and
And
all of
college
price
fees,
gouging,
college tuition fees have almost doubled this year.
everything. So now the cost of living has gone up so much in Canada, and what is the reason for all of this? Because he brought in millions of immigrants to Canada, on refugee status, student visa holders became Canadian citizens, and there was no plan for the development of this country to kind of sustain this kind of growth. All right, so that's not what Trump's agenda is. And the last one on the thing was free trade, and that is not what Trump's thing is. Free trade is not what he's talking. He's actually saying that anything that comes from China and certain other countries will be heavily taxed if they're coming into in the US. Okay, so that is the agenda. Now let's go right into Trump's agenda. What is his agenda? Number one, illegal immigrants. Whoever has been coming into US illegally will be stopped. Okay, the wall is going to go up, all right, between Mexico and the United States. Number two, any illegal immigrant that is in the United States is going to be deported. Okay, and Kamala Harris and Mr. Joe Biden put one section, about a few hundred illegal immigrants from India back to India, and they were sent on a charter plane back to India just about recently, just to make it a point. But Trump's thing is, every day, every hour, literally, he's going to be deporting people back to their home country, whoever has come in illegally to the United States. Number one. Number two, the Five Eyes, whatever they call these five English speaking
The
Anglo-Saxon
racist Anglo-Saxon.
status, exactly, those five countries, the United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. So these countries, they have this thing where they share intelligence, right? I don't think Trump is going to be a big supporter of that. So I don't think that's going to become a huge thing on his agenda. I think that's pretty much maybe even fall apart. My feeling is that it may fall apart during Trump's era. Uh,
Then poor Trudeau, where he will get who was trying to kill Niger then?
that is what I'm coming to. Next one is the India relationship, right? So what has happened is, under Biden, the biggest thing that happened was the fact that um, the Five Eyes apparently shared some intelligence information, and they protected Pannoon. Mr. Joe Biden protected Pannoon, and he didn't do anything when Pannoon threatened to bomb the Air India flights. And all that is going to be controlled and curbed by Mr. Trump. I don't think he will play to the tunes of these idiotic people, because he does not believe in, or he does not rely on these Sikh votes or Khalistani votes for his vote bank. He's got a huge number of the naturally ethnic population of the United States, the white Caucasian people, who are total supporters of Trump. Okay, and that is his main thing, right? He is not looking out for these C quotes and whatever what Trudeau depends on for his vote bank. That is not what Mr. Trump depends on. So what does that mean? Basically, it means that he is not going to entertain any of these pannoons and all these things. So what does that mean? What will happen to Mr. Trudeau about Niger's killing and all that? He kept saying, "Oh, we have facts or whatever reliable information." I don't know what he used those particular words that he used when he announced in the parliament. So those things are going to fall apart. So which means that the US India relationship is going to start improving under Trump. Okay. So that means that Mr. Trudeau will have nowhere to go, because now in the past he used to go to Joe Biden and weep on his shoulder and say, "Mr. Biden, help me out, please. I need some evidence. I got my Khalistani voters who are harassing me, and Jagmeet Singh who is harassing me." So now he has got none of that. Number four, next one is Bangladesh, right? What happened with Joe Biden? He went and put one of his own puppets in Bangladesh as the prime minister, interim prime minister of Bangladesh, by removing Begum Hasina. And I don't think that guy is going to last. He's a Nobel laureate and whatever, but Trump is not going to entertain that. So my feeling is maybe Hasina is going to come back to power. Who knows? Or they may have elections there. So I'm not sure. The next thing is the Ukraine-Russia war. Mr. Trump, that was main thing in during his debate with Kamala Harris. His main agenda is going to stop that war. And my feeling is in the next 6 months, Ukraine-Russia war is going to stop. Okay. The next thing is Israel-Hamas. Israel-Hamas war is going on. I'm not going going to say that the war is going to stop, because it's not a war, because they are fighting against terrorists who have no face, who have no home, who have no army. These people come and bomb, and they escape, and that is going to reduce drastically, because United States is going to under Trump's leadership is going to provide intelligence, equipment, armor, arms and ammunition to Israel, and funds as well, so that Israel is going to be much stronger in that particular area geographically, where they are completely vulnerable to many other Muslim countries. So
And
that,
and
yeah,
Vinayji, what our sources are saying is they had a discussion. Both Modi and Netanyahu had a discussion with Trump right after his winning. In fact, in the midnight itself, after kind of it became clear he is going to win, their call came. And Netanyahu, he said, before my coming, you just do whatever you had to wind it up.
to,
Trump, you know, whatever you had to do, do it quick and fast and before I come, January.
exactly. So again, in the next 6 months, you will see a huge reduction of Hamas's, attacks and all of that, and Israel is going to be much stronger. All right, and then the other thing is the freedom of expression and freedom of speech that is going on in the United States. You saw under Joe Biden's leadership how many universities in the United States, including Harvard, Stanford, MIT, and many other prestigious universities, had people camping inside the university illegally with Hamas flags and the Palestinian flags and all of that, and they were totally going nuts in there, and the police had to break these cordons and break those the camps and all of that. But the irony is those guys gained a lot of power and a lot of support from the leaderships, and they were just going nuts there, and that is going to stop. And even today you'll see in many of the campuses in Canada this is going on, and that needs to stop. But unfortunately, under Trudeau's leadership, that's not going to stop until the
But
leadership.
Vinay, let me ask you a quick question. Okay, today there was a news that the Australian ambassador for US Okay, he made some nasty tweets supporting Kamala Harris. He wrote lunatic Justin Donald Trump. If he comes to power, the world will end, and all those things. Like very undiplomatic, very undiplomatic words and those kind of thing. Yesterday, the guy was seen deleting all the tweets. Yeah, how do you see these guys are in a panic mode?
No. See, a lot of the people in the United States had assumed that Trump is not going to come back to power because he did not win the previous elections. And to be honest, Trump is one of the only presidents ever since the 1800s. In the 1800s, another president did this. Apparently, I don't remember the name, but Trump is the only president after that to have won the president, the
But
job twice, but not consecutively. After a
yeah,
gap of 4 years, he has won. So
no,
that has
no, it
happened only
means,
once before.
but this only one president has done. Okay, you when you are in White House, the election gets stolen from you. Okay, in the name of COVID, and after that you got shot twice. Okay, two assassination attempts,
Exactly.
and so many things means what they didn't call him and his family. There's so many criminal
All
cases, so many
exactly.
intimidation.
False narratives, and that's how they started off, especially right in his first term when he was the president. They started off right in the first year itself. They started, maligning his name and putting him down and saying all kinds of bad stuff, false narratives against him and his family, and
And
that actually led to his defeat in the elections. But even the defeat was not substantial. It was
no, no,
actually
it is a
marginal.
stolen election. Everybody
It was
knows
very
how.
marginal because Trump was leading in many of the polls and stuff like that, but somehow
After
the
11
last
o'clock,
minute,
everything happened in the
yeah, at the
midnight.
last minute, the
Yeah.
elections
But you know
were
what, Vinayji, I was talking to youngsters yesterday. I was saying them, it is absolutely a need for everybody to listen about the life of Donald Trump. You know, from where to where. You know how to take on the adversities, how to take on the failures, how to take on the intimidation head on, and still move on. That is a great lesson for each one of us. And at the age of almost 80, he was doing 4 rallies every day. And you know what, it is astonishing, Vinayji. I was just reading, from morning to night they will be wearing him off in the court in New York, and after the court is shut down he will go and do the rally. you know
exactly.
I just remember only one thing when I'm thinking about him. What is that, the boxer movie? What is that movie?
Rocky,
Rocky Balboa, right? In that he says champions are made in the dark. They just get recognized in the stage. That's
exactly.
what I.
No, he's
At
an
this
extremely
age,
strong person, like, very, resilient and extremely, perseverant. And he did not give up because although there were two assassination attempts, so much maligning against his family, so much of, they basically ruined his name worldwide. And despite that, he just came back. It's like,
he
uh,
had the last laugh.
yeah, exactly. It's
All these guys were wound off and so on. But how do you see this? Means what kind of political changes you think you will see, like guys like Trudeau now who are supporting Kamala Harris, and also in India. India, many people are kind of in panic mode too.
oh yeah, yeah,
All the
absolutely. The
all the
Congress
Liberandus across the
the
world.
Congress Party and the Communist Party and the Aam Aadmi Party and all those parties that came together, they are all afraid because the thing was they were having a free thing with a free ride, I should say, with the Joe Biden's administration, because Joe Biden was not a strong leader, and we know that. And
And he was anti-Indian and anti-Hindu.
absolutely, and the guy was absolutely crazy. Like the he had no agenda. He had no affinity towards supporting India or any kind of Indian trade or Indian relationships, diplomatic relationships, or any of that, right? So what ended up happening was India and U.S. relationships actually declined during his era, and that actually made the Congress Party come much stronger. And actually, there are even rumors that the United States administration and include with the help of George Soros and so many other United States Americans people actually they funded the Congress Party and many of the opposition parties to kind of hoping that they'll come to power, but the Modi's popularity and the BJP's popularity was so much that yes, they lost quite a few seats because of this whole influx of funds and all of that, because they bribed people, they bribed they bribed the whole election process and stuff like that in India. And unfortunately, because of the popularity of BJP and the popularity of Modi, they still came back to power a third term.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vinayji. Friends, what do you think? Trump wins in America and Trudeau's pants get wet in Canada. And all the Liberandus across the world are in fire. They are scared. They don't know what to do. They are running for their, rabbit hole. That's what is happening. What do you think about it? Do comment and let us know. Vinayji, thank you again for
Thank
coming in
you.
and joining us. Appreciate it very, very highly. Okay,
Sure.
looking forward to seeing you again in the next video. Till then, Jai Sri Ram, Jai Jai Sri Ram.
Thank you.